Greetings RC fans, Sharky here and welcome back to Sharky's Garage for another speed crawl video. Not a speed run one because these don't exactly run, they crawl. These are my micro crawlers and I'll go through them more in detail in a few moments. But starting on the left hand side, over here we have got my 1/28 scale Pinecone models SG-2801. Which is a Landrover 110. It is a metal body. It's probably the heaviest of all of these. It's also on the smallest tyres. I don't have great expectations for the speed of it. We'll run through that in a minute. In the middle, we have got the HBX Devastator, the 2098b. This is what I was using in the C24 crawler competition towards the end of last year, with the body off, which I'll do in a moment and show you through that. Next across, so that's 1/28th, 1/24th, and it's a small 1/24th. This is also 1/24th. It is a FMS V1 Max Smasher. The tyres on it currently are the Devastator tyres because I haven't managed to find the box that's got the original Max Smasher tyres in to put back on it, because the tyres that I was running in comp with this one were the ones off the FTX Mini Texan, which we'll talk about in a minute. So I've put those on there. They are similar. I believe the other ones are slightly bigger. This is the only one of these that is a 2-speed, and it is a proper 2-speed with a servo and everything. So that is a Gen 1 Max Smasher. That came from Tomley RC. And yeah, it's been rebodied. I'll talk about that in a second. And this one was a gift from Tomley RC, a thank you. I went to help him with a display he did, and he gave me that as a thank you because he knows that I like it. I haven't done a lot with it. I'm going to have to do some more with it. What I'm thinking about doing is perhaps finding the Max Smasher tyres and put that in to make it into a bit of a mud truck type setup, because I think that'll look pretty good. Anyway, that's enough for the general overview and intro. I'm going to go through each of the vehicles individually in a moment, and then we'll go outside and speed run them with the GNS Speed Performer. Don't forget to do the usual things, like, comment and subscribe. Right, let's run you through the 4 rigs that we are going to be speed crawling today. I just noticed that part of the sandrail has snapped off that. Starting off with this, the smallest of the lot. The Pinecone models SG-2801. It's running a 7.4 volt 2S LiPo battery. It's only 350 mAh. It's got a brushed F050 battery, motor, which you can see in the back there. It is metal body. All of the doors open on this. It's got all of these scale parts which will come off. Even the battery cans or the fuel cans out the back, and the battery is stored in the back here. It's on these tiny little tyres. I don't hold out much hope for it, but it is a gorgeous bit of kit. It's a lovely scale model. I don't have a driver small enough to fit in there. Sorry, Tomley. I may take these canisters off the top here, so I can fit the thing, and I might just take them to the top there like that, which should make that work. But yes, so this is the first one. It is on the teeny tiniest little tyres. I do have some bigger tyres that might fit on it, but then we're not going to get the axle flex, and you know, this, it's not supposed to be a cable crawler. It is a scale model. It is awesome. It is a lot of fun. There are stickers, but I haven't put the stickers on for the Camel trophy because obviously I've got it in the Camel trophy colours. The handset comes apart, takes 2 AA batteries. I think that's about it. On and off on here. Got the steering direction, steering trim. We've got a brake. So for crawl mode. So that's about it for that one. Second up is the Devastator, and this handset to regulars of the channel will look very familiar because it is the same handset, the same controls exactly as on the FTX Ravine, because this is four-wheel steer and you change the modes between the four modes using the button here, on off as per normal. It's the biggest of them, the easiest to hold and all the rest of it. For crawler competitions, I took the body off to give me a little bit more clearance. Now this has got an inbuilt battery, so you have to charge it through here. The battery is a 6.4 volt 500 milliamp lithium ion. Now the motor on this, which we can see here, it looks to be about a 030 size, the same as you'll see on the FTX Mini Texan in a minute. It's certainly smaller than the FMS, and I actually think, I don't know whether you can see in the back there, but it's actually smaller than the one that's in the SG as well. But it is the same as what's in the Texan, so that should give us an interesting comparison. Now, obviously no two-speed on this, we've got four-wheel steer. We'll be running it like this and attaching this somehow to it. Not quite sure how I'm going to manage that yet. So yeah, that one's 6.4 volts. Now the motor on this apparently will run 3 to 7 volts. So potentially you could try running it on a 7.4 volt. But yeah, and this is an HBX motor, and there's also a reduction gear in front of it. So if you look online on the HBX website, you can see you can buy a replacement which has the reduction gear that fits in here, all fitted to it. These are some aftermarket wheels which are a bit heavier, some beadlocks, and that gives it quite a nice narrow thing, which was great for the C24 competition. So that's the second one we're running today. Next up, the most expensive of the four today, and also the most modified. Sorry, to confirm, the SG-2801 is £47.10 from Bangood. The Devastator currently on AliExpress is £57.59. This one, for a Gen 1 version, which you can only find the white one, mine's a blue one, is £135 on Muddle Sport. The V2 version of this, so the re-release that's called the Smasher, not the Max Smasher, is £125 on there. This one is the Gen 1, you can see, because it's got the dip switches here. This came from Tomley RC. Channel 4, I think, or Channel 3, I think it's Channel 3, deals with the 2-speed motor. It's got an aftermarket body that I got off a one that I got from 124 scale I picked up from Facebook Marketplace, but I've seen them sold in B&Ms. It has got lights, but they're not wired up. But I managed to attach the stuff that clips it in to there. So that's the body. It has got a lot of aftermarket parts. It's got the aftermarket aluminium portals, arms, gear, making it more blue. It has got probably the biggest motor of the lot, because it's got a Power Dash 130 motor on it. It is 2-speed. This servo here is for switching. It has got a small battery, but the battery out of the Texan would also run this, which I have run in the past on the back here. All the weight's forward. A really good little crawler, and the tyres, I ran this with the tyres that are on the Texan in comp, but I found, because it didn't have the four-wheel steer, it didn't, I wasn't able to drive it to its full potential in the C24 comps, which is why I switched to the Devastator. So running the Devastator tyres on that today, we should be able to easily fit the speed meter on it somehow. And this one, as I say, 135 for the V1, 125 for the V2. Moving on to the final of the four. This one, like the SG, comes out of here, but only takes 2 batteries. It takes 2 AA batteries. Got a channel 3, but I think that only does the lights. Quite a simple controller. It's nice and handy for one-handed driving. I love this thing. I love Power Wagon designs, and I've loved this since the get-go. I'd said to Phil, Tommy RC, about getting one of these, and when I helped him out that day, he said, "Oh, I got something for you." I went, "Oh," and he said, "Here you go," and handed me a brand new one of these. So in the grey, I put some stickers on it to brand it up. I haven't got the lights connected up, but it has got front and rear lights on it. It's got a 7.4 volt 2S 600 milliamp hour LiPo, which is fitted at the rear. It's got a 88 turn 030 micro motor, which I think looks very similar to the one that's in the Devastator, but it doesn't have the reduction gears that the Devastator has. Got a little bit of weight on the front here, which is something we knew we needed just to hold the front end down. Apart from that, it is stock and standard. And that is 1/18th scale. So it's the biggest scale-wise of the four. So 7.4 volt 2S 600 milliamp LiPo, brushed 88 turn 030 micromotor. This is available on Model Sport currently for £89. When you look at the FTX website, it marks at 99. There is another version with a 130 motor, which is different to this. I think that's called the Evo version of this, which is a more modern version. This is an older one. Right, I realise we're at 9.5 minutes on this segment, plus the intro. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them outside and do the speed runs for you. Right, first up we've got the SG-28, so this is 1/28 scale. So let's see, and the answer is a massive 2 miles an hour over 305 feet with an average speed of 1 mile an hour. So I backed up 2 mile an hour on the SG off camera. We're now on to the HBX Devastator. So we've gone from 1/28th up to 1/24th. And we'll see how this goes. Now this is more of a true crawler. Okay, I was right, it was 1 mile an hour. There we go, 1 mile an hour over 197 feet, 2.5 minutes time elapse, an average speed of 1 mile an hour. I'll back that up off camera. Third up, now we have the FMS Max Smasher Gen 1 on the Devastator tyres. So they're slightly smaller tyres, so this may be slightly faster than this on the stock tyres, because I think they're slightly smaller in dimension. It is 2-speed. We're going to start off with a low speed set, and then I'll do a high speed. So it's in low. Slightly faster than the Devastator. Right, that is also worked out at 1 mile an hour over 207 feet and 2.5 minutes. I'll back that up and then come back with the high speed run. So I did manage to back that up off camera. What I may do with these is I may get till it's a little bit to the edge of the frame and then run it at like 5 times speed, so it's not boring for you guys. So that should do that. Now this is in high speed. I think you're going to notice the difference. Much faster. Let's see what that says. Wow, that surprised me. 4 mile an hour over 384 feet, averaging 3 mile an hour. I will back that off camera and then come back with the Texan. So I backed that up off camera with the Max Smasher at 4 mile an hour. Now we've got the 1/18 scale Outback Texan Mini. Now this has got the same motor in, or same, it appears to be the same can size of motor as in the Devastator, but it doesn't have the reduction gear. It's 1/18 scale. These are the tyres I was running the Max Smasher on in comp. They're slightly larger than the Devastator ones I was running it on. We will see how this runs now. Yep, 2 mile an hour over 295 feet, averaging 1 mile an hour. So I will try and back that up off camera and then come back to you inside with the conclusions. Oh, now I'm back in the warm and my hands are not as blue as they were. We can pull everything together and look at the conclusions. So, starting off with the 1/28 scale Pinecone models SG-2801, 7.4 volt 2S LiPo, 350 mAh, using a brushed F050 motor. That was 2 miles per hour, and that was backed up. Next up, the HBX Devastator, 4-wheel steer. It has a reduction gear. I think it's a 030 micromotor size. It's an inbuilt 6.4 volt battery, so it's the lowest power of anything, and it's also lithium ion as opposed to the rest are all on lipos, and that averaged 1 mile per hour. Onto the Max Smasher, which has got the biggest motor of the lot. It's got a brushed 130 motor. It's using a 7.4 volt 380 mAh 2S LiPo with a 5C discharge rate. So similar to what's in this one. On the low speed, that was 1 mile per hour, and that was backed up. And on the high speed, it was 4 miles per hour, and that was backed up. And it may be even more if it was on the tyres than that, because they are slightly larger in diameter. And also, I believe the Max Smasher tyres are slightly larger in diameter. So yeah, 4 mile per hour. And then onto the FTX Outback Mini, the FTX5524GY. That is a 7.4 volt 2S 600 milliamp hour LiPo. It's using a brushless 88 turn 030 micromotor, and that averaged 2 miles per hour. So that's it for today. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it all. Let me know down in the comment section what you think, what you'd like me to see with these. Would you like me to put the Max Smasher tyres on the Texan and take that out? What else would you like to see? Would you like to see more content with this? Because that's easy to throw in a bag and take all over because it is so small. Let us know, and we'll catch you all again next week.